Picture this: a world where the sanctity of life is constantly upheld, yet some advocate for the ultimate punishment, the death penalty. Today, in this podcast, we will be delving deep into the paradoxical minds of those who champion life, yet also support capital punishment. Joining me here today is Stella, a woman who stands at the crossroads of these seemingly opposing beliefs. Now, here's the burning question: how are some people who are against abortions for capital punishment? Alright, so as I said today, we have Stella. She's a pro-lifer who also advocates for capital punishment.
Thank you for having me.
Let's just jump right in, Stella. It's intriguing that you hold both pro-life and pro-capital punishment views. Can you share your perspective on why you believe in preserving the sanctity of life in one context but not the other?
Absolutely. My stance on abortion is rooted in the belief that all life, including the unborn, is sacred and should be protected. On the other hand, when it comes to capital punishment, I believe it serves as a deterrent and a form of justice for heinous crimes.
Interesting. Now, there seems to be a contradiction here. To explore this further, how about we draw connections to George Orwell's 1984? In the novel, Orwell introduces the concept of doublethink, the ability to hold two contradictory beliefs simultaneously. How do you reconcile your pro-life stance with your support for capital punishment?
It's not about contradiction, but rather a recognition of different circumstances. In 1984, doublethink is about accepting contradictory beliefs as true simultaneously. In my case, it's more about evaluating life based on context. An unborn child is innocent, while someone convicted of a serious crime has made choices that put them in that situation.
That's an interesting perspective, Stella. But what about the potential for errors in the justice system? In 1984, George Orwell introduces the concept of thought crime, where the government convicts people on what they think, not what they've done. In the real world, this can be relative too. When it comes to debates about abortion and capital punishment, it can be more about the government's control over our actions and decisions.
I acknowledge that there are errors within our justice system, but within 1984, the government was trying to control actions and votes against them. In the real world and regarding these debates, it is not about control but maintaining law and order and safety of our rights and protection of our people, even the unborn.
Here's my question. If the government is trying to maintain safety and rights of the people, then why have so many people been wrongfully convicted, shamed, and placed on death row? I mean, over 195 people throughout history have been killed on somebody else's behalf.
That's a valid question.
Let's relate that question back to 1984. The novel explores the manipulation of truth by those in power. Can we draw parallels between the government's control of information in the novel and the potential for wrongful executions in our real-world justice system?
Absolutely. In 1984, the government controls the narrative to maintain power. Similarly, if the justice system is corrupted, innocent people could be wrongly convicted and executed. It's a flaw in the system that needs addressing.
Fascinating insights, Stella. As we wrap up this discussion, it leaves us with a lot to ponder. The parallels between doublethink in 1984 and the seemingly conflicting views on life and death in our real-world society are thought-provoking. What do you think, listeners? Can we truly reconcile pro-life beliefs with our support for capital punishment?